Good morning and welcome to the 1st of July. So what we've got in store today, let's look at the news first, and there's not a great deal here that is likely to create much in the way of impact. We've got the European core and flash CPI data, but because a lot of the constituents are already out there, it's not really much of a mover. They've even downgraded it on here now from red to orange. Bank holiday in Canada shouldn't affect the Canadian dollar too much. I'm sure we'll just see the usual trading on that. It's Canada Day, by the way. ECB president speaking. We've got Bailey speaking. The number of these speakers are here all at the same time. They're having they're having a meeting in Sintra in Portugal. There, policy panel. It's a forum. So there we go. Good fun on that one. And pretty much actually the ISM manufacturing data might be a little bit interesting at the moment, with everything that's going on. Job openings not so, it doesn't have a large impact, this one really, although again it's marked red, but okay. Manufacturing prices, that's this the inflation's, that'd be interesting to see. So start off looking at the euro dollar, and we've got pivots everywhere now. We've got a new set of pivots starting here. We've got the new monthly pivot sitting below. Just looking at where that new monthly pivot is. Have I got daily? New monthly pivot is sitting right by the weekly pivot here. Quite a draw then. Sitting there. The new quarterly pivot is coming down here, so there's potential draws or potential targets at some point in the future. At the moment though, the trend is pretty much the upside. The daily pivot here is at 117.62, so the weekly is 16.52. So we could see this run for. I'll be very surprised if we come right the way down to the quarterly pivot at the moment. If anything, we just need to watch out for the new R1 or right up there, well out the way. But this sort of target is I say target, but this point is where I could easily be a buyer, subject to the reaction off of it. So to say monthly and weekly there, same place. It might not get down there today with the movement, but yesterday was horrible all day for most of it until the afternoon. This is the way it seems to float these days, afternoon trading. And when I say afternoon, it's almost evening. Used to be all over by 4 o'clock. Nowadays it's continuing. Pound dollar, nice consolidation on the dailies, still hanging around the highs here. It's starting to make a move. It broke my little trend line I drew on there yesterday late on. Actually it's more today than yesterday really. It turned around. What was the game? 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It sort of turned. It was looking like it was going to head off to its weekly pivot at one stage, but quite ugly as it sits there at the moment, and nothing to report. Euro yen, dollar yen even. This still looks like it's got more downside potential. It's just where you jump aboard really. I'm just looking the daily pivot here. We've got the new quarterly pivot above there. But they may be areas we will look at going forward. But for now, it's weekly pivot, monthly, quarterly pivots. Goodness, daily pivots. There's all that drawer above us, so the pivots to potentially be hit. Not necessarily. I mean, it's the reaction if we get into one of these that's important. How it reacts to it. Starts reacting off of this daily, then it's a good point of shorting. Aussie dollar, the daily still looks pretty ugly. It is starting to break out a little bit better now, and yesterday it started moving. You can see the original move, well, it's broken out. Actually, I say a little bit better. It's actually moving better than some of the European currencies at the moment here. Yesterday afternoon it picked up a little bit on the stronger side and looks like it's got potential further upside. Whereas before I was quite pessimistic on this, now it's starting to stretch its legs a little bit. Is it a go with? It's got a scope, it's a bit scalpier to its R1, but it's potential. Now this is quite an interesting one here. We've got the Canadian dollar, US dollar, Canadian dollar, still looking good for the downside. I like the overall picture that's running here, and it just it looks fine. From a weekly point of view, now it's hit its S1. Yesterday, maybe S2's got in scope at some point. We're so early into the week here. Maybe we can get a go with on the break of the lows here. If it does turn course a little bit, the next point, of course, is the daily pivot. Look to see if we get a reaction off of that, and that would look very nice. New Zealand dollar following the Aussie, maybe looking better than the Aussie overall. It's developed this trend, upper trend, sort of going through there into last week, running into this week. Not the prettiest overall when you're looking at it on the short-term time frame here, but once again, it's broken the highs. If you not want to get in early and sort of swing it and try and trade it further, let's just look at where those weekly pivots are. Weekly pivots not a long way away. If it was to get up that sort of into that territory, maybe it'll break the R1. Swissy continues to strengthen. I should have just shorted it. Technically it looked like a short, and it still looks like a short all day long. As I said, I've steered clear of it because of the potential central bank action, but it seems that it's just going and going. Nothing's holding it back at the moment against the dollar, at least. Looking at other crosses with the Swissy, Swiss yen. Yep, Swissy still battling there and still winning the case there. Still the safety currency, it might appear. The pound Swissy, with the pounds coming off against the Swissy here. These crosses here, Aussie. So the Swissy just sort of gaining again. New Zealand. The Swissy right the way across there. We've already looked at the US dollar. Okay, and the CAD. All of these looking on the soft side. We could get a continuation. Right, majors are covered. The Swissy we can see it's remaining strong. Other usual suspects here. I'm just looking here. All gone a bit ugly and a bit choppy for now. It started looking like a short option. Actually, I can now move my trend line across. There we go. So it's a flattening trend now, but still heading to the upside. Just waiting for options to enter it, really. But with the yen being quite so strong, it's not helping the matter. Euro pound, maybe we'll see a pound bounce off here. Could get a continuation. This would be an interesting one post 8 o'clock. Just see what's happening here, but this looks quite nicely set up for a continuation to the upside. So a few ideas there, a few things looking. The Canadian dollar certainly looking like it could continue drop. This euro pound shaping up at the moment, setting up. It's just see what the next hour brings us. The shape of the next hour, half hour at least, and then that could be of interest. Right, usual suspects. Right, gold first. So gold still pushing ahead here. Now it's short term into its it's into its new monthly pivot at the moment. It's starting to technically look a bit better, but it's still sitting there on the 4-hourly point of view in a weaker signal. But yeah, it seems to be picking up again, and this could be mostly down to the weak dollar as opposed to great demand in gold. I'm looking at the big money, and it's moving out a little bit more, but I don't think it ever really believed the route here too much. But anyway, that's pretty much it there. S&Ps this morning, let's have a look. Well, yesterday we saw new highs. Why not have some more new highs today, starting to look a little bit rough at the top here, but that's no reason to short it. It's just looking rough. It popped up there yesterday. Okay, there'll be a bit of divergence, I'm sure, going on here. Yeah, there we go, bearish divergence across these highs. Even this is picking it up, but you can see it visually anyway. But none of those are triggered. If you were really aggressively looking to short something like the S&Ps, you need to see the break of the lows between the two highs. So that would be a point, and even then, the target for such a move like that is only the low to the high. So it's not a big target or a big. That's it. It's over. Move. The FTSE, famous last words. It'll probably crash now. FTSE, it's gone all choppy. If anything, still looks a bit iffy. Not looking great there. Nothing that maybe continuation on the short side of things. DAX picked up for a little while yesterday, then rolled back. It's rolled back quite late on, actually, into this morning session more so. I don't know, a bit yesterday. Anyway, looking a little bit on the softer side there. It managed to do a double top there. So in the morning it was, and it broke the low between the two highs. There you go, and that did what it should do. That was that out of the way. Here now, really just looking at the trend line. Maybe we'll see a break downwards, but I don't overly like it with the bigger trend still quite strong. Right, I shall leave you there. As I said, the potential trades there: US dollar CAD, the euro pound. He says on the lower time frames. There you go. See how that develops. So at least a couple of currencies there to be watching. Just need to give this a bit of time first. Right, that's it for me today. Wish you a good day's trading, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.